Hello beautifuls, thank you for clicking onto this video. Today we're going to be doing a review for the Oracle Moonology made by Yasmin Bolin, and the artwork was done by Nix Rowan. This beautiful oracle comes with 44 cards as well as a very descriptive guidebook to help your understanding of Moonology. The dimensions of these oracle cards are 5.5 inches by about 4 inches. Alright my loves, let's talk about durability and how easy or hard it may be to shuffle these cards. When I first got them, I did find it quite difficult to shuffle them because my hands are quite sensitive. If you have sensitive skin, it might be a little bit difficult because the edges are going to be a little bit sharp and the cards are a little bit bulky, but over time you'll definitely be acclimated to using these cards and it'll feel more comfortable to you. Now I feel comfortable shuffling them, breaking the cards, whatever it may be, and they actually do not tarnish. I've had these cards since the beginning of Corona, which was back in the beginning of 2020. It is now 2022 of January. And yeah, these cards have not changed. They have not chipped off on the sides. They have not faded away. So I really do like how these cards were created because I've had quite a few other oracles and the cards have not been able to maintain themselves as well as this oracle. Okay guys, I wanted to give you like a test trial to see how these cards shuffle, to see if you like it. Like I said, at first it's a little hard. The cards feel a little bulky to a new user, but after a month of trying to shuffle them, you will feel quite comfortable. If you are new when purchasing like a tarot and oracle, I would just recommend to train yourself to just shuffle. When you're sitting in front of the TV or you're having a conversation with somebody, if they would allow you, just shuffle. Learn to shuffle and practice. It will become much easier for you to, handle these cards and allow one card at a time to come out to make the reading more clear for you. When I purchased this oracle at the beginning of lockdown, I had no knowledge of moon cycles or even astrology. And I'm not going to say that it's necessary when you're purchasing this oracle because in the guidebook, the author goes into quite detail of what each moon phase means and what the astrology signs or placements have to do with each card and a description of it. Each card is going to give you a message most of the time, and then it's going to give you a moon phase. In this case, it says new moon, and the placement is going to be in Aries. If you are not familiar with this means at all, you can just take the message, and then as you learn more about astrology and moonology, you'll be able to have a better grasp on what this is trying to tell you. For me, new moon energy is all about setting intentions, thinking about what do you want to work on. And Aries, I find it to be a very dominant and intimidating, powerful sign. So I definitely feel like for you, this message is just trying to say for you to be stubborn about the things that you want and go after it, and don't be scared to be that dominant energy in your lifestyle. Some people are a little bit, introverted, they're shy. That may not be, their character, but that's something that maybe you need to start embodying. I will definitely say, my loves, with this particular oracle, you can't really interpret the imagery on these cards because most of the time it is an imagery of the moon cycle and an imagery of an astrology sign. So if you are not, educated in either of those aspects, it's going to be a little bit difficult to interpret these cards. But like I said, you're just going to be able to read the message. And in the description of the guidebook, they actually go into full-blown description and explain what each card means and what affirmation or mantra you can use when learning this lesson. I forgot to mention as well, when it comes to color theory within these cards, that is how I like to interpret it. I like to look at the cards and think about how it's making me feel, depending on if it's red or it is purple, because sometimes you're going to get a very powerful, dominant energy, and then with a card like this, you feel more humble, at peace, and relaxing and healing. This card is actually saying a time for healing, but do you see what I'm saying? Your interpretation of the card can be used or done in so many ways. The cool thing about this oracle is that if you draw a card and you feel as though that the message that's on the card does not resonate with you or maybe doesn't make quite sense to you, you can go into the guidebook and it's going to provide you additional information, extra statements, certain messages that might help you resonate with a different meaning that would help better interpret your oracle reading. All right, my loves, now let's talk about level of difficulty when it comes to interpreting these cards. I personally would recommend them to beginners because of the fact that it would be quite helpful to have previous knowledge of astrology and moonology. And if you don't have either one of those, like I said, it would make it quite difficult when interpreting. But if you do have even just a little bit of knowledge of like what a Aries or a Taurus even feels to you, like the energies that they give off, it would actually help you in your interpretation of these oracle cards. So I would definitely recommend it to people who have been doing oracle readings, tarot readings for at least 6 months to at least a year. Because if you know a little bit about tarot, a little bit about oracle, and about the metaphysical community, I think it would be easier for you to absorb more knowledge. But if you are just right off the bat, you don't even own a tarot, I would definitely not recommend this to you, my love. I would definitely recommend a different oracle. Maybe the tea leaf oracle, which is also on my YouTube profile if you want to check that out. All right, let's talk about what I rate this oracle. I honestly would rate this as an 8. Because I do find the imagery to be quite beautiful. I understand it's a little bit difficult to like interpret. You honestly can't use it to interpret. However, I really appreciate the effort that has gone into this guidebook. If you are new to astrology, there are teachings in here and they will go into specific statements and clarifications on each sign depending on which card you have drawn, because different phases, different cycles of the moon, as well as astrology, really plays into the true meaning of each card. So if you are new to this, I honestly think anybody can learn to use this oracle if you have the patience and want to learn something new. But if you want to just be able to pick up the card and interpret it, this is probably not the oracle for you. So that's why I did knock it down a few notches on my rate, because a 10 out of 10 would be for anybody who could be able to use this tarot or oracle. But otherwise, I do like how it is created. I really do appreciate the size of the card as well. It's not too bulky and unable to handle. So I would recommend this to anybody who uses oracle or tarot for private use or for community use, like if you are an online tarot reader. And if you are, good luck with your business. I'm so grateful that you found my page. Good luck. I just want to give you a little bit of extra information and awareness, because when I was doing my research on the Amazon listing, a lot of people were complaining about the imagery and how difficult it is to interpret these cards, and as well as how they are printed. Sometimes when you purchase oracles or tarots off of Amazon, sometimes the printing doesn't come out good. Like it may not be even comprehensible sometimes, or it may just be really like pale. That's what I'm saying. So just please be mindful of when you purchase an oracle from a certain seller or website. Please do not deem that oracle as bad. Maybe you just need to get a refund or exchange that item. So please just be aware of that, and also count your cards. Sometimes in the printing process, some cards could be lost. So do your best to count them and figure out which card you may or may not be missing. So guys, if you made it this far in the video, I am pretty sure you are quite interested in this oracle, and it is priced for $18. I got this on Amazon. The prices could have changed, and especially if you buy it on Etsy or any other website, the retail price could be a little bit different, but I do find it to be quite reasonable for this amount of cards. And they also did come out with a part 2 Moonology if you're also interested in purchasing that deck as well. This video, if you guys still want to purchase this oracle, check the link in the description to be redirected to the Amazon listing. If you stayed to the end of the video, thank you so much. If you did not hit the like button already and the subscribe button, I post every single week, guys, on Wednesday. I like to call it my Witchy Wednesday. And I believe next week we are going to be covering the Cat Tarot for a review. I hope to see you guys next week. Have an amazing day and week.